it's Miss Tapia here reporting from our library. In this video, I'm going to help you get set up with everything you need to know to complete your annotated bibliography for your PickaPope project. First, I will remind you how to share your Noodle Tools project with Ms. Harrison and I. Second, if you are working with a partner, I will show you how to share the project with each other. I'll show you how to cite your textbook should you decide to cite this. I will show you also how to cite information from a school database, a library database, which you are required to do, and also how to cite a web page from the open web should you decide to go that route. The next thing I will do after that is I'm going to show you how to write an annotation according to this project. And then finally, I will show you how to export your annotated bibliography so that you have something to submit in a perfect format, perfect MLA format to Ms. Harrison. First, of course, I start with Noodle Tools. So NoodleTools.com, I click on Log In, and I'm going to sign in with my Google address. So I click Sign In with Google, and I'm in. Again, if you're working with a project, only one of you needs to do this next step. So I'm going to click on New Project. I'm going to name my project title The Name of My Pope. I'm going to stick with MLA style, and I'm going to also stick with an advanced citation level. The absolute first thing I need to do is I need to share this with Ms. Harrison, and I also see it too, so that we can see your progress through all of this. So here on my dashboard, in my sharing and collaboration box, I will click on Share with a Project inbox. I will type in Harrison, and I can see that I can choose which block I'm in. So I'm going to click on block 4, and then I will click Done. That is very important to do. Make sure you click Done. A link will show up here after you have clicked Done. Now, if you are working with a partner, this is where you will add them. So I'm going to click on Add Students, and I'm going to type in my partner's shcp.edu address. And I'm going to click Done once again. Now I'm going to click on PickaPope Databases. What we have here are 3 databases that we curated for you in this project so that you can find some credible, authoritative information. You can trust it more than the information you might find on the open web, where we're not always clear who published it or if they've published it with some sort of bias. So I'm going to go with Encyclopedia Britannica first. If you are logging in from home, they might ask you for a password. That password is Irish. If you need a username, it is SHCP. And that information can be found underneath the database there. Okay, so here I'm going to type in the name of my Pope. I can see that it's already auto-generated a result. And of course here, I have some very credible information that I can cite. So of course you're going to read through it, make sure that it's useful for you. To cite this information, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this check mark right here. I'll zoom in, it says Cite. I will click Cite, and what I need to do in this case is I need to copy these citations. So I'm going to click Copy, and I go back to my Noodle Tools project. I click on Sources, and I will click New Source. This is a database. This is original content in a database. It comes originally from Encyclopedia Britannica. And I already have the citation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Copy and Paste a citation. I will paste it in there. It looks good. And I will save it. And now I can see that that's there. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is since I'm already reading this information, I'm going to start on my annotation. So in order to do that, I can click on Options and Edit, and down here I see that I have an annotation box.
Hold up.
What is an annotated bibliography? You might be asking yourself that. So essentially what it is it's a works cited page, but after each citation there is a paragraph that describes and evaluates the source itself. Now, when you go on into college, or maybe even next year in some other class, if they ask you to do an annotated bibliography, it is always important to ask your teacher what they want to see in the annotation. In this case, Ms. Harrison has defined some questions that she would like you to answer in the annotation. So in my annotation, Ms. Harrison wants me to comment on at least 2 of the following given what I am finding from this source of information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy and paste these questions, and I'm going to paste it in my annotation. I do not want this bolded, so I'm going to unbold that. The questions are, what voice and role did the Pope have in the church and world in his time? Did this Pope advance or detract from the virtue of unity? What kind of authority did this Pope most embody or exemplify? Magisterial, prophetic, pastoral, political, bridge building, or some other type of leadership? And if you find conflicting information about the Pope, what is it and what do you make of it? First of all, of course, you have to read your information. That is the beauty of research, that you are learning something new. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this.
A few moments later.
What you will do is you will not keep these questions in here, but you can use them as sentence starters, right? So Pope Damasus the First. Now, once you are done with creating your paragraph of 3 to 5 sentences, you will click Save. And what you should see is your annotation immediately follows your citation. So I can see my annotation after my citation. The next database I'm going to show you is the New Catholic Encyclopedia. I'm going to type in Damasus the First, Pope, there he is. And I have some solid information on him that I can read. So I will click on that entry. I can see where he was born, where he died, what his nationality was. And again, I'm going to read this information. Of course, what I need to do is I need to cite this information as well. How do I do that in the New Catholic Encyclopedia? Well, at the very top, I see this button, Cite, and you can see that I can export straight to Noodle Tools. It will ask me, do you want to cite, or do you want to import it to this project you have going on called Pope Damasus I? I do, so I'm going to click Import References. This green bar will go across the screen. That means I did it correctly. And when I refresh this page, I now see it there. Okay, and again, I will click on Options, Edit, and I will drop down here to the annotation box. So what you will do is you will answer these questions. Remember, it should be a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, based on what you read from this source. All right, you can see that that took me some time because research takes time, so make sure that you are putting in the work to understand it yourself. Again, I will click Save. Now, what if I go onto the open web because I'm curious about something, or maybe I just want to get information from there? Well, first, I'm going to go ahead and type in Damasus I. Remember that Wikipedia and newadvent.org are not acceptable as credible sources for this project, so stay away from them. So New Advent, I'm going to stay away from them, but maybe I will click on this one from Catholic.org. Already I can see that it's peppered with some ads. Already you just know that someone is profiting from us looking at this information. That's always something to question. But I'm going to read some of this information. And now if I choose to use this source from the open web, I need to click on Noodle Tools. I need to click on New Source, Website. This is a web page. Very quickly, I will put in the URL here. The date of publication, I don't really see, and it's hard to tell because there's so much clutter and all kinds of stuff on this page. So again, this should kind of be a red flag for you. Date of publication, I really have no idea when that was first published. So I'm going to just leave that blank. The most recent date of access is today. That is important to note because web pages change all the time. So that web page might look different tomorrow should someone choose to edit it. So that's why it's important to put the most recent date of access. As far as the author, it says author and publisher, Catholic Online, so I will go ahead and actually use that. Because it's a group, I'm going to put it all in the last name group box. The name of the web page I can tell right here from the top. As I hover over my tab, it says Pope St. Damasus I. That's pretty much all I have to put in there. The name of the website was Catholic Online. The publisher we know is Catholic Online, but because it's the same as the website, we do not need to double that up. And once I'm done filling all of that out, I will click on Save. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to click on, they want me to say what is the role of the contributor here? They are the author. And now in this case, again, I need to create my annotation, again, answering those questions. However, because this is something I found on the open web, I would take time to explain who the heck Catholic Online is in the first place. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to cite your textbook. This is very easy. I just go to New Source. This is print. It's in my hands. I click on Book. And here it asks me for an ISBN number. That stands for International Standard Book Number, and I can find it in the barcode area on the back of my book. So I'm going to type that in really quick. I'm going to search that. And I see that it searched WorldCat, which is like a worldwide database of library records. And this matches with what I have in my hand. And so I'm going to click on Save, or I'm going to click on it and I will click Import Selected Source. Everything looks good. I'm going to click Continue and I will write my annotation here. Again, answering those questions. And then I will click Save. And so now finally, when you have at least 2 citations with their annotation, so I can show you that I have my citation and annotation here, citation and annotation here. Now all I need to do is I need to export this annotated bibliography so I have something to submit to Ms. Harrison. So the way to do that is I click on Print Export. I click on Print Export to Google Docs. I give it a minute to do the work for me. And finally, it will show up in Google Docs. I would suggest, if you see any misspellings or anything, it's worth going through and correcting some mistakes. And this, I think I will just need to add a heading. And this is simply the document that I will now submit to Schoology so that Ms. Harrison can see my annotated bibliography. I don't like to teach you folks or reinforce these things without a reason. So please know if you are asking yourself, why do we have to do this? Again, first of all, it is to avoid plagiarism. But the positive side of doing your research and creating an annotated bibliography is that it demonstrates to us that you are a responsible, credible, and ethical scholar. You have done your work and you care about the style and format of your paper. Again, we are Sacred Heart Cathedral Preparatory. We are preparing you for college level research. When you get to college, you will do many more annotated bibliographies, and hopefully with this practice, you will feel better equipped to do it. If you have any questions at all, or if you run into any errors, please let me know. Please go ahead and email me at atapia@shcp.edu.